you because you're facing some very serious allegations.
Correct.
Rape, human trafficking.
Yep.
And also because there's a great deal of concern about the things you say.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to pause, but it's like this nigga Andrew Tate, when he got out, bro, when this nigga got out, bro, he just looks like a whole different person now. Like, he look like a whole new nigga now. It's like prison really changed this nigga. I mean, he's still the same, obviously, but, you know, you could tell he went through some changes.
And the impact that they have on young people, on women.
I don't think the concern's about the things I say. I think the concern is for the level of influence I have and the reach I have.
Let's start with the allegations. Have you raped anybody?
Absolutely not.
Have you trafficked anybody?
Absolutely not.
Exploited any women for money?
Absolutely not.
But you have admitted using emotional manipulation to get women to work in the webcam industry for you.
No. We have an open criminal investigation. I am absolutely and utterly sure I'll be found innocent. I know the case better than you. I know it intimately and you don't. I have seen all the criminal files and the evidence against me and you haven't. I know the truth of what happened and you don't. And I'm telling you absolutely and utterly, I've never hurt anybody, that the case that's been put against me is completely and utterly fabricated. And I'm never going to be found guilty of anything. And it's very difficult for me to answer your in-depth questions because we're sitting here inside of the territory of Romania. I'm beholden to the Romanian legal system. And I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Let me read you then what you have said about what you have done.
Sure.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think
that's exactly what you said on your website.
No, I've never said that. That's something that you found on the internet. Doesn't mean I've said it.
In your words.
And again, once again, if any female on the planet has a problem with me, I strongly recommend her to go to the police and try and pursue me for criminal charges.
Yo, bro, I'm sorry. I couldn't help but laugh, bro. But it's just like, this is why I really fuck with Andrew Tate, because like, he could really sit down and have a conversation. He could be in an interview or podcast. It don't matter what type of setting he's in, right? He can have a whole straight face about everything he's saying, bro. Bro, I respect Tate because he just keeps it 100. You feel me? He's not gonna sugarcoat nothing. He's not gonna bullshit anything. He's just gonna keep it 100 with you. It's funny though, because I heard this nigga Andrew Tate, he doesn't fuck with the red pill anymore neither, which is very interesting. I know that has nothing to do with the video, but I just had to bring that point up. But you see how she's trying to get him to fold? You know what I'm saying? It seems as if she's trying to get him to fold. Like, she's trying to get him to say some shit that he shouldn't say. But he ain't falling for it. He ain't falling for the okie dokie. He ain't falling for it.
Says exactly those things, that with you it's all manipulation. There's an ulterior motive to everything you do.
Is this Sophie? Oh, it's Sophie, the fake name, no face. No,
I was so intent on wanting to please him and wanting him to be happy that I was just kind of, yeah, okay, do whatever you want.
And what is she accused? Has she accused me of a crime, this imaginary Sophie?
She's making the point that there is
she accused me of a crime?
Emotional or psychological manipulation.
I've asked you a question, and I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you a question.
Correct, but you're not the boss here, because I've allowed you into my house.
I'm asking you the questions.
Correctly, and I'm telling you.
You get to decide the answers.
No, we're equal here. I've allowed you into my house. You don't come here with a position of authority. I'm doing you the favor as Legacy Media, giving you relevance by speaking to you. And
so she's in his house, like he said. She's in his house, and she's trying to act like the boss here. You feel me? Like, she has a level of authority over him. This is what these news outlets try to do, man. This is what they try to do. This ain't nothing new.
I'm telling you now. This Sophie, which the BBC has invented, which there's no face of, nobody knows who she is.
The BBC did not invent her.
Of course not. And because you never invent anything. And she's not filed criminal charges against me. What are we talking about here? What is she saying?
We're talking about emotional manipulation into the sex industry for your financial gain.
Absolute garbage.
I'm describing women who are going to court to accuse you of rape and human trafficking, and I'm describing women who have spoken to the BBC at length,
Sophie doesn't exist,
and other media organisations about what they say is emotional manipulation and coercion, and I'm quoting back to you your own words where you describe
they're not my words.
Coercion and emotional manipulation.
They're words you found on the internet, and Sophie doesn't exist.
On your
so let's
website,
move on to the next subject.
in your voice.
Move on to the next subject.
No, I think I'll stick on this one for a minute. So there's other places in that same website where you say you get girls to fall in love with you, and they do it because they love you, because they want to do what you say. convincing women to take part in some kind of business arrangement doesn't work long term because they're emotional. You've got to get them to fall in love with you. That's coercion, that's emotional manipulation, that's abuse.
What you've found are clips from the internet, some text from the internet, and you're going to sit here and tell me that that's the reason I should...
Your website, your words.
It's not my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Check my website. Next.
Wow.
It's the website you've taken down, and I wonder why those comments have been taken down.
No website's been taken down. My website is the same, and it's been the same for a very long time. You are accusing me, I'm guessing, what you're trying to say is you're accusing me, and you're trying to say that I'm guilty of the things I'm accused of, and that I'm emotionally manipulating people.
I'm saying that you have said you emotionally manipulated people here for your own financial gain.
No, absolutely not.
It's not only about the criminal allegations. It's a much bigger issue. You've got...
See, now, I will say this, right? Now, even if Andrew Tate is telling the truth, and even if they are falsely accusing him of all these crazy accusations of him doing the sex work with the girls and the R word, accusations or whatever, this is still not a good look, because I remember I watched a documentary recently about Andrew Tate and his whole lifestyle. There were a couple of girls that came out and they were all saying the same thing about him. Like, oh, like he did this to me, he did that to me. Now, of course, Andrew Tate is not the only victim to this. Even celebrities fall victim to this, these allegations or whatever. Michael Jackson, God rest his soul. So it really just goes to show you that people will do anything for attention. You know what I'm saying? And it's really sad. It really is, man. It's a drug. It's no different from someone being addicted to heroin. It's really no different.
You've got children's organisations in the UK, you've got rape organisations in the UK, you've got the police naming you by name as someone who has a harmful influence on children and on women in the UK and elsewhere.
Children? Nah, children is crazy. Y'all calling this nigga a pedophile or something? Like, these niggas said children. He's a harmful influence on children? How? Yo, that's crazy, bro.
Because of the things you say, because of the way you present gender relations, the way you say men should treat women.
That's very upsetting. And the reason that's very upsetting is because I know that's not true. I'm genuinely a good person. I believe my impact on the world is positive.
The reason we're asking you about these comments is because we've got the chief executive of Rape Crisis naming you individually as spreading a dangerous ideology of misogynistic rape culture.
Absolute.
It's the comments you make that are leading people to say things like this.
Absolute garbage.
National organisations who are saying that are blaming you for increasing levels of misogyny. Schools that are saying they are having increased incidents of girls being attacked, of female teachers being harassed.
If that was
by pupils,
harassed?
because of
You mean
and your
harassed?
teaching and your influence.
That's absolute garbage. I have never, ever encouraged a student to attack a teacher, male or female, ever. I preach hard work, discipline. I'm an athlete. I preach anti-drug. I preach religion. I preach no alcohol. I preach no knife crime. Every single problem with modern society, I'm against.
But
I'm teaching young men to be disciplined, to be diligent, to listen, to train, to work hard, to be exactly like me. And I'm saying that if men grew up like me, which are hardworking and diligent and emotional control and stoic, we're going to have a better society, not a worse society. To sit here and say that schools in England, which is a failing nation, which has knife crime going through the roof, violence going through the roof, men's mental health going through the roof, and they're going to all blame me because I appeared on the internet 1 year ago. It's disingenuous.
See, now the thing about this, right, is that people will watch Andrew Tate, watch all the small clips that he posts, watch all the, the crazy things that that has come out of his mouth and all these, media platforms and podcasts, right? And what they'll do is they will misconstrue what he says, right? Or takes everything he says out of context, and they end up doing stuff that goes against what he was actually trying to say or what he actually meant by, this or that. Well, you gotta hold the people that's listening to his content, you gotta hold them accountable for that shit too. You know what I'm saying? These people have to be intelligent enough to be able to read in between the lines. You get what I'm saying? But, a lot of people are not able to do that. And that's why so many people go out and do the dumb shit that they do. I would argue that Andrew Tate, he doesn't advocate for men putting their hands on women or this and that. He doesn't actually advocate for that shit. This shit is never going to end. This is what happens when you say crazy shit on the internet.
It's disingenuous.
You
and
sell
also,
an image
also,
of financial success
correct.
with a Bugatti and a cigar, but it comes with a side order of misogyny.
How does having a Bugatti and a cigar come with misogyny?
I am asking you about things that you have said that have caused major national organisations, including the police, to worry about you by name. That's what I'm asking you about.
It's not what I said.
It's about what you have said that has caused such concern in the UK. And I want to put it to you that you don't really care about the harm it causes because
that's not true.
Making controversial statements like this online has made you a lot of money.
Okay, so firstly, I genuinely am a force for good in the world. You may not understand that yet, but you will eventually. And I genuinely believe I'm acting under the instruction of God to do good things, and I want to make the world a better place. I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy, and I believe that eventually, when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good, positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money, because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs, or I could make rap music and encourage everyone to stab each other like all the drill artists do.
Or you could make controversial statements online that attract a lot of followers who you then direct to your website where they pay to learn how to be like you.
You know what I find very interesting about this conversation is that she's acting like Andrew Tate is the first person to ever say controversial things on the internet, and then everything he says on the internet gets taken out of context and they attack him and this and that. Like, bro, he's not the first person to say crazy shit on the internet. There have been people before him that have also done the same exact shit that he's done. So what makes him any different from those people? I'm just very confused. You know what I'm saying?
I could make jokes online. Who doesn't? I mean, I could make a joke.
Are you saying that all the controversial things you've said are jokes?
No, I'm saying that these organizations and the BBC who are going to sit here and pretend that I am the face of damaging the youth is absolutely garbage. It's completely disingenuous.
It makes you money.
The reason, in fact, I've seen thousands and thousands of comments and have endless emails from women praising praising the fact that their sons are listening to me.
Does it not worry you?
The
things I'm saying, does it not worry you?
It would worry.
Are you not concerned about your influence?
It would worry me if I was genuinely damaging the world. But for you to sit here and say, Andrew, you've become the most Googled man in the world, you have billions of views, and one woman, is now saying that her husband is not the same man she wants him to be, when thousands and thousands of people are saying the opposite, well then I would say
I've presented you with case after case after case, with quote after quote after quote of people who are genuinely concerned about the impact you're having, and you brush it off as if it's nothing.
No, what you have done is come here with an agenda, you've come here with loaded questions, you've come here with things taken out of context, you come here with things that you don't understand are satirical, and then you're going to also sit and say that one woman said that her boyfriend changed when he watched one of your videos. And then I don't know what you expect me to say to that.
Sarcastic, and jokes. No. That's how you explain the comments you make.
For you to sit down.
Would you like to apologise for any of them?
For you to sit down.
What?
For you to sit down.
Yo, bro, she can't be serious, bro.
It's easy. For you to sit down and say that one woman said that her boyfriend watched an Andrew Tate video and now he won't do the dishes.
Schools.
Or whatever your argument is.
Police.
And that I'm somehow the worst, most dangerous man in the world because I have a car.
Give it up, woman. Just give it up. Give it up. You lost.
If you actually watch my comments about women, I've done
long
podcasts for hours long about females, talking about protecting for them, providing for them, how I believe a woman should be treated in a relationship. I've done all of this.
She didn't really have anything substantial to say. She didn't really make any substantial points. She was just going off by what she heard on the media platforms that are going against him. I'm going to just say this, right? If Andrew Tate was really guilty of all these allegations, all these accusations and all of that, of these things that he did, right? Why would he invite her to his house? If anything, he would want to avoid all media platforms and not want to talk about anything. But the fact that he still goes on the internet, he still has these discussions, he still... Even with everything that people are saying about him, he still decides to have these discussions with these news outlets. That should tell you something. That should tell you something. You know what I'm saying? That should be a pretty big indicator. Well, then some people might say, well, he could just be doing it for attention or whatever. Could be. You know, could be. But I don't think he's guilty. I'm gonna just say that. I don't think he's guilty. But I'm gonna just end the video off on that, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the reaction. And I'll see y'all on the next video.